Wyoming has identified 5 domains related to computer science. These include computing systems, networks and the internet, data analysis, algorithms and programming, and the impacts of computing on society and culture. In my previous video, I highlighted my admittedly simplified view of a very broad topic like computer science, and mentioned that I thought the important aspects were information, computation, and automation. So how does my very simplified view of computer science gel with Wyoming's 5 domains? Well, think about information. I described information as the starting point to your program. You have some problem you want to solve, it's going to have some input. You have to begin somewhere. And I said it didn't always have to be collected from the real world. It could just be in pure math, but it will be sometimes. And consider Wyoming's first domain, computing systems. That includes devices as an important aspect of computer science. Not all devices have sensors, but I certainly think of some devices as ways to sense the world. Think of a temperature sensor or a movement sensor. As you interact with your microbits this week, you'll notice that they have lots of ways of sensing the real world, of getting information, data in as the starting point for any computer program you write. Wyoming's third domain, data analysis, includes storage as an important element. It includes collection of data and visualization of data. Clearly, these are all tied with information. If I collect some information from the world, if I sense it, sometimes I'm going to want to store it to look at later or to share with other people locally. And sometimes I'm going to want to visualize it to say, hey, the easiest way to consider my temperatures and my movements information is to look at it in a particular manner, to visualize it. Wyoming's second domain, networks and the internet, well, quite often when I collect information, I'm going to want to share it with people around the world. As a scientist and a data scientist, say I have a collaborator in another country, I'm going to want to get them the information that I've collected, and I'm going to want to do it in a secure manner so that I know that nobody else is going to intercept my information and use it before I've had the chance to write science results and publish my information. So I think Wyoming's first 3 domains are very much tied into this idea of information being an important aspect of computer science. But what about computation and automation? Well, Wyoming's 4th domain, algorithms and programming, are all to do with how you manipulate information. You have control logic, if my information looks like this, then do this to it. You have making sure that you write a program in a sensible and organized fashion to control your input data. And certainly within algorithms, you have the concept of automation. You know that if you write a computer program that's going to do something, chances are it's going to do it over and over and over again. You're going to automate it. Now, the 5th domain, impacts of computing. I do want to talk about that, but I'm going to talk about it in my next video. In my next video, I'm going to take an example of an overarching problem in an overarching field. I'm going to use my own field, which is cosmology, the study of the universe. And I'm going to discuss how each aspect of Wyoming's domains fits into the wider picture of how I do my everyday job. But I do think it's important to highlight that I don't see any one of these domains as particularly important. And I don't see there being a specific hierarchy where one aspect of these domains is dominant over the others. I see them all as working together. And of course, because of what I described in my first video, I see them as working together to help us collect information, move information around, store and visualize information, and manipulate and automate information to go from some starting point into a problem to some results that we're really interested in learning about the real world or about some aspect of pure mathematics.